Hello dear traders, it's me Kate Tikhina and you are watching InstaForex TV channel. On Friday, oil prices declined significantly. Market participants focused on the public comments from the G20 summit in Osaka. Probably the negative price dynamics was contributed to a sell-off wave triggered by speculators who expected positive news on Friday. However, the positive news came following the meeting between Donald Trump and Xi Jinping. The US president noted that the meeting was perfect, just as it should have been. The sides agreed to resume the trade negotiations and postpone new tariffs. Moreover, Mr. Trump pledged to loosen a ban that had been recently imposed on Huawei. At the same time, the upbeat comments about the OPEC Plus meeting that starts today provided strong support to oil prices. Russian President Vladimir Putin said Russia and Saudi Arabia agreed to extend the output cuts deal for the coming 6-8 months. Today's trend in the oil market is definitely bullish. Brent futures advanced by 2% and were consolidating near the level of $66.50 per barrel. If the current sentiment persisted during the week, then oil prices may reach the level of $67–68 per barrel. Further on, Baker Hughes released the oil recount report on Friday. The report showed that the number of active drilling facilities in the United States increased to 793 units. However, in annual terms, this number declined by 65 units. The oil recount report is considered to be a leading indicator of the output levels, so an annual decline in the drilling activity signals potentially lower production volumes in the United States in the second half of this year. On Friday, the US dollar declined slightly as investors were worried that the G20 summit would not bring any feasible results. The currencies of developing countries were trading mixed. However, the actual results of the summit exceeded expectations. Besides concerns about the global economic growth eased as Trump cancelled introduction of additional tariffs on Chinese goods. On Friday, the Russian ruble depreciated and looked to weaken than other emerging market currencies. However, today the ruble may recoup losses as the appetite for risk increased and investors hope that the OPEC Plus deal will be extended. We keep close tabs on the market developments. Stay tuned with us. See you!